If something good happens to you, do you find a way to ruin it? Not on purpose, not consciously, but somehow every time life hands you something real, a relationship that actually feels safe, an opportunity that could change everything, a moment of genuine happiness, something inside you quietly starts to destroy it. You pull away, you overthink, you start arguments that didn't need to happen, you disappear, you self destruct, and then you're left standing in the wreckage of something that could have been beautiful, asking yourself the same question you always ask: why do I keep doing this? Today, we're going to answer that question, not with judgment, not with a list of things you need to fix about yourself, but with the truth. Because the truth about self sabotage is not what most people think it is. Most people believe self sabotage is a character flaw, a sign of weakness, proof that you're broken in some fundamental way that makes you incapable of receiving good things. That's not what it is. Self sabotage is a survival strategy. It's one of the most sophisticated things your brain knows how to do. And to understand why, we need to go back. Not to last year, not to your last relationship, but to the very beginning of how you learned to exist in the world. When you were young, your brain was doing something remarkable. It was building a map of reality, not the world as it actually is, but the world as your experience taught you it was. And if your experience taught you that good things come with conditions, that love gets taken away, that happiness is always followed by pain, that people leave, that hope is dangerous, then your brain did exactly what it was designed to do. It built a system to protect you from all of that. Here's something that most people don't realize about the human nervous system: it doesn't have a clock. What that means is this: the part of your brain responsible for keeping you safe, your amygdala, your threat detection system, cannot tell the difference between something that happened 15 years ago and something that's happening right now. When you were a child and love felt unpredictable, when good things kept getting taken away, when you hoped for something and it hurt you, your nervous system recorded all of that, not as a memory, as a warning. And now, every time something good comes into your life, that same nervous system scans the situation and says, wait, I've been here before. I know how this ends. And it fires off a signal, a feeling, a pull, an urge to run, to push, to destroy, to leave before you can be left. It doesn't feel like protection, it feels like self-destruction. But to your nervous system, those are exactly the same thing. Self-sabotage doesn't always look the same. It wears different masks depending on who you are and what you learn to fear. The first is emotional withdrawal. Everything is going well and then suddenly you go cold. You stop responding the way you used to. You create distance without knowing why. You tell yourself you just need space. But really, your nervous system detected something. A feeling of getting too close, too vulnerable, too exposed, and it pulled you back. Withdrawal feels like protection. What it actually is preemptive abandonment. You leave before they can. The second is conflict creation. You start arguments from nothing. You push buttons you know you shouldn't push. You say the thing you knew would hurt. You find the weak point in something good, and you press on it until something cracks. This one is particularly painful because it makes you look like the problem. But what's really happening is your brain found a way to create a familiar ending. Rejection, loss, conflict. Because familiar, and even when painful, feels safer than uncertain. At least you know how this ends. The third is procrastination and self-defeat. The opportunity arrives. The door is open, and you do nothing. You wait. You find reasons it won't work. You talk yourself out of it before you even begin. This masquerades as laziness or fear of failure, but often it's fear of success. Because success means visibility, it means expectations, it means people paying attention, and for someone who learned that attention comes with danger, success itself becomes the threat. The fourth is the most invisible. Minimizing. Good things happen, and you immediately make them small. You deflect compliments, you downplay achievements, you tell yourself it was luck, it won't last, you don't deserve it. You don't sabotage the good thing by destroying it. You sabotage it by refusing to let it land, and the result is the same. You never actually get to have it. All four of these patterns have the same root. At some point in your life, hope hurt you. Maybe you hoped for a parent's approval and it never came. Maybe you hoped a relationship would be safe and it wasn't. Maybe you were vulnerable with someone and they used it against you. Maybe you worked hard for something and it was taken away anyway. Your brain registered something critical in that moment. Hope equals risk. Wanting equals pain. The good things are the dangerous things, because they're the things you can lose. And so the system was built. A sophisticated, invisible, exhausting system designed to make sure you never get hurt that badly again. The cruelest part, the system works. When you self-sabotage, you do prevent certain kinds of pain. You prevent the pain of being left because you already left. You prevent the pain of failure and because you never tried. You prevent the pain of losing something good because you made sure you never fully had it. You protect yourself perfectly, and you never get to live. The shift doesn't happen when you force yourself to stop self-sabotaging. Willpower doesn't work here because this isn't a behavior problem. It's a nervous system problem. It's a belief problem. The shift happens when you start to understand the difference between what was true then and what is true now. Then, love was conditional. Now, not everyone operates the way they did. Then, good things got taken away. Now, you have more capacity to protect what matters to you. Then, hope was dangerous. Now, you are not the same person who got hurt. You have grown. You have resources you didn't have then. The nervous system responds to evidence. Slowly, with patience, with repeated new experiences that contradict the old story, it updates. This is not fast work. It is not a realization that fixes everything overnight, but it begins with one thing. Noticing. The next time you feel the pull to withdraw, to push away, to destroy, to minimize, pause. Just for a second, and ask yourself one question. Am I responding to what is actually happening right now? Or am I responding to something that happened a long time ago? That question is not a solution, but it is a door. I want to say something clearly before we finish. You are not broken. You are not weak. You are not fundamentally damaged. You are someone whose brain learned to survive in a world that felt unsafe, unpredictable, or painful, and it built the best system it could with the information it had. That system served you. It protected you when you needed protection. The work now is not to destroy that system. The work is to update it, to show your nervous system slowly and gently through new experiences and new choices that the world is not what it used to be, that you are allowed to stay, that good things are allowed to last, that you don't have to earn love by suffering for it, that hope is not the enemy. Self-sabotage isn't self-destruction. It's self-protection from a version of you that was hurt by hope. And that version of you deserves compassion, not criticism. If this video connected with something inside you, sit with that for a moment. Don't scroll past it. Don't minimize it. Let it land. Because the fact that you're here, trying to understand yourself more deeply, that's not nothing. That's the beginning of something. If this helped you, subscribe to Cognitive Lab for more, and share this with someone who needs to hear it.